Okay, let's get started. What I want to show you is the quickest way to access any of your files or folders or anything that has been shared with you on Google Drive. So the quickest way I like to access these is by going to Google Chrome. And you see these 9 dots, this waffle grid here. This is your access port. But first, you always want to make sure that you are logged into your BCSD Google account, not your personal one. That's extremely important because only your BCSD documents will be under your BCSD account. So once you've done that, click on this waffle grid and go to your drive. There are 3 different ways that I like to access things that have been shared with me or different documents and forms that I've created, and I'm going to share those with you. So the very first thing, of course, that you can go to is your shared with me. That can be a little cluttered, so I like the recent options, and you will see the last things that you were working on under your recent tabs. And then another great way too is when you're in your Drive, you can use the search in Drive feature, which I use this a lot. So let's say, for example, you're looking for something that you know Letty sent you. So you would just type in her name, and anything that she has shared with you will be under her name, under the owner. She's the owner of that document. That's one way you can search. You can also search by keywords. For example, maybe you're looking for your FFVP production record. It's one example, and that will pull up. And so that is a really nice way as well to find something quick. Keywords or by person. And another way is by the star feature. This is actually my favorite. I love the star feature. I try to keep it as small as possible so that I can find something quick and easy. So what I'm going to do is show you how you can add something to your starred area. And I keep the things in here that I use most often or that I'm currently working on. And so what you could do is you could go to any document. For example, let's look at this printer ink response here. You can right click it and add to starred, or you can open it and you'll see there is a little star right here. You just click that star, and then when you go to your starred, it will be there. Okay, I'm gonna remove this from here. So those are a couple of different ways that you can find what you're looking for quick and easy. You can go to your recent, your starred, or search by name or keywords. Okay, so we're gonna get out of this for now. And I wanna show you now a very quick and easy way that you can find how to order PPE on the district website, in particular the warehouse website. And this is the way I do it. I will go bcsd.com, warehouse, PPE. And there you go. It pops right up. So if you need to order PPE, you will find it right here. This Google form takes you through the steps on how to order it. And this is actually a form that you will also use for any discards, and I'll show you that in just a second. So then you just follow the prompts, and I've spoken with Ernest, and he says, all of you guys have filled this out before, so you are familiar with it and you know how it works, but that is how you find it. And so it's the same exact thing if you're looking for discards. So bcsd.com warehouse, discard, pops up. It's actually on the same page, but just for sake of the tutorial, you will find it right here on the bottom. Click here to submit. And this is actually a Google form that we're going to be talking about for our new procedures. And so we see this is really the way that we're going. It's the best way to keep track of data, inventory, keep things accurate and up to date. So this is the warehouse service request. Okay, that's how you access it. So now let's go back to our Google Drive, and we're going to talk about the new procedures for ordering supplies, making work orders, as well as ordering ink. So let's go back to our Drive. And hopefully you've starred these and you've put them in your starred area after they've been sent to you so you can find them easily. The first thing we're going to talk about is the printer ink inventory. A lot of you guys have already filled this out because you were here over the summer, and some of you haven't seen this yet. What this is this is the way that you're going to order ink as needed, usually twice a year. So this is what you'll do. You'll open it up, and I'm going to show you, this is what it looks like for me, but this is what it's going to look like for you. And you'll just answer these questions below as you have done on other forms, your name, your school site from this drop-down menu. And you'll notice when it says an asterisk, this red asterisk means that you cannot move forward until you answer that question. Do you need ink now? What is your printer ink cartridge number? Please note that we do not want the model of your printer. We need the ink cartridges number, and you can find that by opening your printer and looking right on the cartridge. And then once you get that information, you just type it in there and you submit it. And this is going to do two things. This is going to help you get ink as you need it, and it's also going to help us to keep an inventory of the printer ink. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on our end, what Eric and Barbara and I see, and anyone else who has access to this form. So see this green little tab up here? This is an Excel sheet. And so this is what we're really interested in. It all comes down to tracking and funding, and this is the way that we can do it. And so we open that up, and this shows the data of whose email address. We can search by your name, your school site, different questions, and then most importantly, the printer ink cartridge number for inventory, and when we sent the ink, and that kind of data. So that's just to give you an idea of the importance of filling out these forms that we're going to be talking about, so that you can see how we use that data. Okay, so now let's go to the Stinsons and other supplies. So this is the new way that we're going to be ordering supplies. And this isn't just Stinsons that you order twice a year. These are things that you were previously calling for, like hair nets, beard nets, tally counters, insect trap glue boards, things of those nature. So those days of just calling, hey, can you put this in our box? We're not doing that any longer. We're doing it this way so we can better keep track of these items for inventory reasons. So let's just go through this form. Again, this is how I see it, but let's go to your view. And so your very first page is sort of like that PPE form on the warehouse, gives you a description. And it says the nutrition department is implementing a new method for ordering supplies in an effort to better serve your needs and to have an accurate inventory for funding purposes. We are asking for your support. This is the new process. Give an advance notice when you are in need of an item. Each time you're in need of an item, use this form rather than call or email. This will enable us to not only order items in advance, but we'll keep our inventory up to date and accurate. So this is how it's going to work out. You're going to have two options once you open it, but please note that some items take longer to come in because we have to first ask for a quote, get that quote approved, and then get it ordered. So make sure you give advance notice. Let's go on to the next screen. This is what it's going to look like. You're just as like the others, you're going to put your name, your school name, and I Again, these red asterisks means you have to fill out the form if you want to go forward. And so let's say it's an other supplies request. It's not Stinson's. Anything else that any other supply you need besides Stinson. And that may be hairnets, and then you would just click the quantity that you need. There's roughly about 15 hairnets per bag, or maybe it's a dish machine log, whatever it is. Let's say you need something that is not here, then you would type in the item. Maybe it's a glue board. So we would need you to type in what model glue board, because we have different models of insect traps out there and they do require different size glue boards. So if you can give us that information, then we can get that to you as quick as possible. Okay, so that's how you would order other supplies. But what about if it's the biannual Stinson time to order? So let's look at the Stinsons. This is exactly like the paper form that you used to get and fill out and send in, but now it's just all on this Google form. And you would just go through these. Notice there's no red asterisks, which means you don't have to click every single thing, only what you need. And you can go next. And maybe you just want Post-its, 12-pack of Post-its, and then you would submit it. Okay, and then again, it goes back to this Excel sheet that we can then go in and log and have a nice, accurate inventory. So that's the new supply procedure for ordering supplies. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about the new work order procedure. So before, when you place your work orders, you use that Excel template and then you would email it to us, but those days are gone. We're now using this work order request form. And just please note that you should always try to troubleshoot the issue before placing in your work order. You'll be asked for details of your troubleshooting before you can place your work order. This is so important, you guys, because a lot of things can be resolved in-house just by doing a few troubleshooting steps, which would save time, it's going to save funds, and some troubleshooting would include, for example, maybe you notice that the electricity is out. Can you go and check the breaker, reset the breaker? Maybe it is something with the phone or your computer. Can you shut it down and reboot it again? Can you unplug the plugs and plug them back in again? Try to do troubleshooting on your own. And that's always the first step. And then after that, this is the new procedure for your work order request. All requests must be submitted through this form. One work order request per form, because that's super important, because remember, we're tracking this, and this is going to be the way that we can track what's going on with, let's say, your oven or your freezer. And each time you put in a form, it has a timestamp and it has the details, and we could really study and keep track of those issues. And however, the exception as always will be emergency issues. So in the event of an emergency, call us first right away. And then after you relay that to us, then you will still need to go back in and place the work order request. So emergencies include broken windows, backed up leaking toilets, roof leaks, gas leaks, flooding, no water, hot water, no electricity, pest infestations. And as always, do not submit a work order to change out light bulbs. It's the site custodian's responsibility to change them. In addition, all problems with wasps, beehives, ants, and rodents are the responsibility of the site custodian. They have traps and things for those pests. But of course, if it's an infestation, you can give us a call and we will handle that. Let's go to your view. And after you've gone over that, very similar to the other ones, you're going to just put your name in, and your school site, whatever school site that may be, and work order type. Is it something with your kitchen equipment? Is it something with information technology or maintenance and operations? So let's start off with kitchen equipment. And the next question is going to ask you equipment type. Is it your freezer? Is it your cooler? Is it your oven? Okay. So then it has different issue types that could be going on with your equipment. Let's say for your oven, it's the pilot light. The pilot light is out. Well, here's the only exception where it would not apply, where we would call an outside company, for example. Maintenance and operations, they will handle the pilot light issues. So what we would want you to do if it was a pilot light issue is go back to the maintenance and operations section. So in the case of an oven with a pilot light, you would just go back, hit the back button, and then go down to the maintenance and operations tab. Next, and then you would find the pilot light. Next, and details, any details that you could give. And I know sometimes I talk to you on the phone and you're like, well, I didn't really know what to write, but however you would describe it to someone over the phone, write it down. These details are like sugar, like candy. We love them. So just give us all the details that you can, and what troubleshooting did you perform, and then what is the priority, and then submit it. Okay, and once you submit it, we're going to get a form. It will be emailed to me, to Eric, to Barbara, and to a few others in the office, alerting them that there has been a work order submitted. I'm just going to show you real quick what it looks like, what the work order request form will look like that gets emailed to us after you fill it out. This is just a sample that I did, and it will look very similar to this. And then we'll get this emailed, you will get a notification, and that's all. That's all I wanted to show you guys. If you have any questions, as always, give us a call and we'll be so happy to help you through it. Have a great day.